Good afternoon and welcome to More Meets the Eye. I'm your host, Blind Prime, and for today we're going to be talking about Transformers War for Cybertron Kingdom, the Titan Class Ark pack-in. I'm of course talking about the Delux Class Mainframe, aka Teletran 1 or 2, depending on your diorama specifications. Though, here Mainframe is in all of his big, clunky glory. Like this is he's just a beefcake of a figure. He's got some decent weight to him. As a deluxe class, if you've watched my short, he's actually larger than all the other Brainiacs that we've gotten. You know, Perceptor, Wheeljack, and Brainstorm. I just thought it was fun. You know, if you haven't seen the YT short, check it out. That's where I've got them all right next to each other. And I figured, you know, what best to compare Teletran 1's robot mode to than other more intelligent Transformers, the smartest of the smart Transformers that I have. I don't know if they're, I mean, there's of course that guy for Shockwave. That's an intelligent Transformer, like really intelligent, but he's a Decepticon. So I got the Autobots out, and was like, let's compare him to the other Autobots that are on his level, and I consider Delatran to be just a bit smarter than Wheeljack or Brainstorm, but not Perceptor. I think Perceptor's the smartest out of the bunch. Like Perceptor's just crazy smart in the show. I don't know if he's smarter than Brainstorm or Brainstorm's smarter than him, but that's the case. So let's talk about Mainframe here and discuss his pros and his cons, his texture, his weight. I already said he's a hefty guy. He weighs more than the Ironhide, I believe, and that's really cool. Now, sculpt-wise, this guy's got an interesting head sculpt. He's got like this giant eye, this huge eye that reminds me of Shockwave's little eye, and then this mouth plate that goes across the bottom. Like, I wonder if this guy talks, or if he's just like beep boop beep beep bob. You know, I don't know, but I do think the face is really weird, and you know, it doesn't really have a human characteristics to it all. This guy is just straight up a machine. He is a machine, and that's really neat. You know, the computer, of course, went with the logical head, and the one that gives them the largest eye, and other things like that. So that's the head. It's really cool. It's even got some texture in there in the giant eye. I think that's really neat. Now the head is a bit loose on there. Like that head is really loose. I do wish the head was a bit tighter, but it's oh well. This guy's a decent figure for a pack-in. So the elbows pull a 90. Yeah, we'll talk about articulation. If it wasn't for this back panel thing, his back, his big old backpack, it's actually really not that big. It's kind of sleek. Because of that, the arms can't pull a 360, but they can do decent. And they do raise up to a 90 on the shoulder. Boom. Or almost a 90. I'd say, actually, yeah, no, that is a 90. The elbows pull a 90. There is some rotation at the bicep, and the hands have no articulation whatsoever. The waist does rotate, not very much because of this because of the kibble on his back, but it rotates a little. The hips can do decently. You know, they have a soft ratchet on them, which honestly doesn't make any sense because it doesn't even work really well. So I was like, why did you include a soft ratchet if the ratchet's not even gonna be tight enough to work? The knees pull a little bit more than a 90, but not much more than a 90. I'd say like 92, but that's about it. The ankles have ankle tilt, which is nice. I do appreciate me some ankle tilt, and that's all of his articulation. He's not an incredibly articulated guy, but for a Titan class pack-in, this is more than I expected. You know. All right, now let's talk sculpt work. So we talked about the head. And the head, it's weird shape. Now the core of his body's got some cool stuff. I do appreciate it whenever they don't make everything asymmetrical. So he's got a little circle thing off to the left hand side of his chest, like right above where the heart would be, and then he's got some other textures on the right hand side, and then he comes down here to this ab crunch like texture going on. He's got some ab feeling area. His arms has some decent robot textures to them. I do like his shoulders. They're a little skinny, but for the most part, you know, this guy isn't going to be doing any combat. He doesn't even come with a weapon. He is straight up a research and development kind of guy. He does things like calculate. Come down here to his arm, and we've got this nice armor. But remember, the armor for him is all just screens. So if he gets shot up too much, yeah, his Teletran form is going to be basically useless. So he's got to be careful about that, I assume. Come down here to his legs. We got some really nice textures going on the legs, though. I do not understand why why when you transform this guy, you fold all these panels over the front of the leg, and that honestly is annoying. Because if we spin it around to the back here, we see that the back has this giant, I mean, freaking huge hollow section. And the thing is, though, at the front of this leg, the front doesn't have any hollows to it. So if they had figured out a way to actually, instead of putting some stuff in the back here, like if you had taken some sandpaper and sanded down this stuff, you could actually fold the leg all the way back around to the back and cover up that giant negative zone in his back, the back of his legs. I don't understand why these two pieces, why the computer fold-out pieces on either side of his leg had to fold out, had to fold in on the front and not the back. That is just a missed opportunity in my book, because everywhere else this figure has got nothing. There's no hollow sections anywhere else. That's amazing for a figure like this. It's a pack-in figure. You would expect there to be less, but this guy has more, and that's really cool. Like I said, the only negative to him is these giant negative zones, just negative area, just hollowness waffling all down the back of his legs. It could have been a simple, easy thing of taking these panels and folding them so that they folded over the back of his legs, and then there wouldn't be so much junk going on the front of his legs. Like, I do dislike that. I think that pulling this oop, I dropped that piece. Let me put that back. All right. That piece will always be falling out, yo. All right. Hey. Oh, good lord. Now you're gonna be obtuse and you're just gonna start messing with me now? All right. So it's just interesting to me that the front of this leg, it feels so nice when you fold these panels away. It feels like the front of a robot's leg. It's got really great textures to it. And then they all get hidden by this. That's my biggest negative with this guy. Other than that, this is an excellent transform. You spin him around and you see that he's actually got the command center on his back. Interesting thing enough, I just discovered this by accident, but this little bobble in the center, the computer ball thing, is actually removable. You can grab it with your thumb and forefinger and twist it and pull it out. Now, the neat thing about that is the port is the same size for some of the core class figures. So if you got your Studio Series 86 Spike Wiki, he could actually carry the blue thing as some sort of, infinity gem or something. I'm thinking about giving it to Wheelie and just having Wheelie carry around the blue bauble. Because that's totally something Wheelie would do. I found this blue bauble. He would say it in rhyming fashion, but I don't feel like rhyming. So just imagine that in a rhyme. Blue bauble, I say. I found it today. There we go. That's better. So this is an excellent figure for a pack-in. It came with the Titan Class Ark, which is not the greatest robot in the world, but I mean, it makes up for it by being the Ark. Literally being the Ark. I love that by itself. I just wish I could figure out a way to hang it from my ceiling, but I fear that. Like, the top of the Ark is so cool, but you have to hang it upside down or something, really get that look. I think that's all I have to say about Mainframe here today. It's he doesn't really have that much more to talk about. He's a good robot. He's got some great articulation to him. He's got some heft to him. And as a pack-in, it was a pleasant surprise. You got him for free when you got the Titan class figure. And I think the fact that he becomes Teletran 1 or 2, depending on which you appreciate most, is just awesome. And I really, really like that. So that's my feelings on Mainframe. An excellent figure, a good pack-in. And like I said, the only negative is this hollow section. But when you have him in Teletran 1 form, you're not going to find that hollow section at all, because it's just all going to be hidden. Thank you for watching, and please tune into my channel, blind_prime, for more full in-depth reviews of Transformers and G.I. Joes, the occasional Marvel Legend, and random stuff like that. Thanks for watching. Tune in next Pride. Bye bye for now.